Can you hear me?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm glad you're on. Just setting up the Facebook link so people that can't be on. Let's see. All right, I think we're live. How are you? Good evening. We're just waiting for our guest speaker to okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody for now just to do some housekeeping.
Oh.
Yes, she's in the middle of something. Hi. She's like, is she talking to me? Okay.
To me?
Yeah.
Well, your video's frozen for me. Like I can hear you, but your video's frozen.
My video's frozen? Really? So's yours. Oh no.
For me.
Oh no.
I don't know. I can see Cindy.
Can you hear me now? Can you see me now?
Oh, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, like you're frozen, but Cindy's not. Oh, I don't think it's me.
Oh, the housekeeping. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys. That came out bad. I didn't mean to say that stuff. It'll start working better, and hopefully, Lauren isn't. Frozen.
There's a delay in your audio too.
Is there? Darn it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording and start doing that. And then hopefully for everybody else, they can hear you. And then, well, I'll give it a minute just so for people that are trying to come on. Okay. Hi, everyone. Markowitz, your Superstar Director with Angels Saving Lives Group. And today is June 8th, 2020. And today we have a really that is going to be sharing some really exciting things that I can't wait to hear all about. But before we get to her, I'm going to just share just a couple things that we should be that you're checking news tab, because we have some things that came back in stock, and then we also have some things that are still not available and things that are being partial shipped. So you just really want to make sure that you're paying attention to those things so you can keep your customers updated. I did a live the other day just about, like, you know, people are willing to wait as long as they're just informed about what's going on. You know, they're not going to be upset. They're going by like we forgot about them. So just as much information as you have, make sure they know. So if something just came back in stock, you could say, then you go to your workstation and your order history and kind of see if it's been shipped yet. And then, you know, you can kind of give them an update of, hey, it hasn't been shipped, but it is back in stock, just to kind of give them something to go off of. And I'm sure they will thank you for that. So, okay. Just numbers, there's been people earning the Grow with the Flow summer incentive. We have until the end of this month to earn it. So brand new, don't count yourself out. You could still earn it, honestly. So go into your incentives tab and read about how to earn it. Talk to your sponsor or director about it. And I promise you, there's been people that have joined the same month that the what you have to do, and then maybe making a plan up with your sponsor director of how you're going to do that, if that's there's some Scentsy bars that are temporarily out of stock, so make sure you check the news tab for that. It's Aloha Pineapple and Welcome Summer. So Hibiscus Pineapple was just a summer collection. Those got sold out pretty fast, but Aloha So if you have it from your kit, you know, make a post or a direct message to your clients. So that's kind of an idea. Let's see. Lauren tells me my audio is terrible. That check tab regularly because there's so much going on. And if you're kind of out in, like, you just don't know what's happening about a certain thing, that's where your sponsor is. But their job is to direct you of where to find things and to learn about them. So without further ado, I want to introduce our guest speaker. Her name to tell you a little bit about her because she is somebody that you want to definitely one of the coolest things about Lauren is she was one that kind of took the reins on her own. She her sponsor didn't tell her to join, didn't tell her about the opportunity. She just kind of, yeah, I and you know, she earned level 3 for her sensational start. I remember her just starting like a firecracker and all of a sudden seeing these huge numbers on my reports, and I'm like, who is this Lauren Clift? Well, her name was different back then because she wasn't married yet. And she Jess, we can't hear you. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so
I can introduce myself.
So am I talking the whole time and nobody can hear me?
We literally hear like 5 seconds and then it's quiet for like 15 seconds. So we're not hearing like anything.
Okay. Well, darn it, I wanted to brag about you. Okay, but I guess you have to brag about yourself. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Okay.
Let everybody know, like, yeah. So let everybody know your whole story because it's so powerful, and then let us know about your fun stuff. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I joined. Well, first of all, you might hear a child crying in the background. My 2-year-old is like super emotional right now, so I apologize if you hear that. She's not being abused. She's just cranky. But I joined a little about 5.5 years ago. I did not join with the intention of doing anything special. I just was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And then I started doing some research and hearing about all these people who do amazing things, and I hated my job. And I was a child abuse investigator, so naturally I would hate that. And so I really just saw an opening for a chance to be a stay-at-home mom, which I have always wanted. My parents were a flight attendant and a pilot. I was raised by a Swedish au pair, so the idea of staying home with my kid was something that was very important to me. I made director about 1.5 years later. I hit my sensational start level 3. I've earned almost every incentive trip. And it's honestly not been any special formula other than trying to sponsor and having consistent sales. So yeah, Jess asked me to come on. Like I said, I have a 2-year-old. Her name's Gemma. She's special. As Cindy has seen the video I posted earlier today. If you're not friends with me, friend request me because it's special. She's a ball of energy, that one. But so she keeps me on my toes. So it's definitely a different world for me right now. And which is actually how I kind of got into doing mystery bags and whiff boxes, is because I'm not doing home parties right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My husband's a firefighter. I can't commit to a day because, before he's working, it's fine. I can do a party. Now I have a 2-year-old. And so I had to really reevaluate where I was going to make up this PRV that I had before, because I don't want to compromise my time with my kid. And so I had been, my husband's bringing me some meatballs. I had been playing with the idea of doing my whiff box for a really long time, and it honestly just freaked me out and was overwhelming. And so I just didn't do it. Like that's my MO. If it sounds like a lot, I just don't. And so when I had her, I just kind of decided last November that I was just gonna test the waters. And so, and again, everything that I talk about, I will share in the comments once Jess posts this, as far as like what mystery bags and blah, 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 what all supplies I use. But so I did a feeler, and it was just a mystery bag, and they had to claim a number, and they were gone super fast. And when I did my follow-up with them, I basically said, hey, if I did something like this monthly, would you be interested? And every single person was like, absolutely. So my first mystery bag didn't really have a theme. It was just a mystery bag. And I went off this sheet that someone created, and I will share that with you. I pulled from stock a little bit just to get the savings there. But from that point on, I had a theme every month. I was thinking it out every month. I was pre-ordering. So my biggest tips for you guys, how I have found to be most successful, is one, come up with a theme and know your theme for a couple months. So don't be on like October 1st and you're like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like have, like, for example, my July bag, right? No, my June bag. My June bag, the theme was the circuses in town. And so I'm doing it has a Dumbo bar, a churro scent circle, sugar cone room spray, rainbow sherbet bar, strawberry taffy scent circle, sugar cookie pack, sweet tea car bar. But I know that sounds like a lot. I essentially privately guarantee a minimum savings of $10. They're typically closer to like 15. And the biggest thing is just what I did with my first bag was I pulled from a lot of stock, to be honest with you. So that with what I was doing with everybody's money was buying what I needed for December. So that's where I was maximizing the savings in their bags. I was getting rid of old stuff, and their money was helping me create that savings for December, because my first bag was in November. And so from that point on, I was basically already ahead of the game. Okay. If you don't have a lot of stock to pull from, that is okay. The flyer that I'm going to post utilizes the hostess rewards to where you don't have to pull from stock, but the flyer that I have does not account for the now $500 minimum shipping. So you kind of have to maybe make up a little bit there from something you may have in stock, or play with it, or maybe double your bags or attach it to a party, or whatever you need to do. It is best if you get to free shipping, because my bags are $25 plus tax. I can ship them for $8.40. And again, I will post all this. My shipping bags are flat rate shipping bags from the post office, $8.40. things. And then the boxes that I order from Amazon, I mean, you got to shove them in there, but you can make it happen with maybe a little bit of extra tape. So that's how I ship them. I did not offer shipping on my first one because, again, I was just feeling it out. So from that point, I felt like what really got people interested was the savings and like the fun theme and surprise factor of it. I've made it very intentional to try to include new products. So I've done fragrance flowers a bunch of times. And so now, you know, because pretty much everybody's hooked on the wax and warmers. So I want them to try new things. So I'm doing fragrance flowers. I'm doing dryer discs. I'm doing room sprays, scent packs, scent circles. My New Year's bag was new year, new things, new year, new products, something like that. So I did the wall fan and pods and I think a body spray and stuff like that. So I'm introducing my already loyal people to new stuff. So now they're not only doing the bag and their wax, but they're also now buying the laundry stuff and, you know, X, Y, and Z. And so that's how I think that's really helped my sales, is getting them hooked on other things. I honestly, I feel like my first bag was so fun that almost every person that's done it has just basically said, like, sign me up for next month. Sign me up until I tell you not to sign me up. And again, I think really just the savings and the funness of it. I do, in the beginning, I did make, and I will share this, postcards that I put in all my orders, like just my normal orders, telling them what my little surprise, mine's called the monthly sensation, So I did flyers for a couple months or postcards for a couple months about what it is about. And now what I do is I feel like I get a lot of interaction off of social media. So the day that I deliver, or maybe the day after, because I don't want to spoil it for my subscribers, I post a picture of the bag, like not what's inside, but just like what Jess put in the email, like, just look what I delivered today. Sometimes I'll like point an arrow and like it's literally bulging because there's so much stuff in here. So I allude to the savings, but I'm not specific. And I've gotten a lot of people that way, of just like, okay, I keep seeing you post about this, tell me about it. And then in that private message, I can be like, girl, it's like $10 to $15 savings, way worth what you're paying. You know, I always do samples of some type, whether it's the laundry line or just the scent of the month, or, you know, if I have something on hand that I want them to sample. I mean, yeah, I think just the biggest things is just really planning ahead. Like at this point, when I put in, I have about, on average, each month, about 15 to 20 people subscribing. So literally on the first of the month with outside orders, I'm putting in between $1,000 and $2,000 on the first day of the month because of these bags. But it's at the point now where I'm literally putting in, like, my June 1st order. I basically ordered everything I need for July. You know, like, it's almost balanced out now to where I can start using the hostess rewards for myself again, which is nice. But I mean, it's really just planning ahead. And as far as like the inspiration for the bags, so like, for example, my Circus in Town one, I just go to the scents and just kind of like what kind of jumps out at me of like what would be a fun theme. So I love the Dumbo bar, and I was like, Circus in Town will be super cute. I just a side note, I do a little extra in each bag, and by that I mean something not Scentsy. So for example, my Circus in Town bag is going to have a tiny bag of peanuts in the shell, right? My farmer's market bag had like those little, the dollar spot at Target is my favorite. Those little flowers that you like, little flower kits, you know. My Christmas bag, dollar spot, I found these cute, my theme was Merry and Bright, and Target literally had little wine glasses that said Merry and Bright. So I do one little extra that just literally costs me like $1 to $1.50 per person. I do wrap it up cute. I'll share my bags with you. I just do tissue paper, nothing special. But I do a little extra. So some other themes I've had, I haven't named July's yet, but it's basically going to be about vacation. And so Waves and Wonder, By the Sea, Pina Colada, Mojito Mambo, Toasted Marshmallow, Bonfire Beach, Summer Holiday, Paradise Punch, Mahalo Coconut. If you got the Scent of the Month kit, that scent is perfect. I did my Mother's Day May bag was hashtag treat yourself. And it was aloe water, inhale, exhale, iridescent pearl, jammy time, just breathe. I mean, you guys kind of get the idea. And so I think just being ahead, knowing a couple months what theme you're wanting to do, knowing what products you're going to want to do, really utilizing combine and saves, you know, so that you're getting savings that way too. And the way I place the order is I still have everybody's name in my order, and then I basically just kind of play around with it. I put something in each person's cart, just, okay, so I've already pre-ordered this. I need 5 more of these. Let me put it under so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. I don't try to get each person's cart to 25, because again, I'm trying to save some money here. What I personally do is if somebody paid me in Venmo or Zelle or PayPal, that is cash. And I'm gonna try to keep that cash. So what I do first is I play around with the people who do credit card, getting what I need with those people, because I'm processing their card either way. And then, you know, for example, my friend Casey might have sent me money on Venmo, but there's only $10 under her card. So, and in essence, now that I've caught up, I'm actually making PRV and cash. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I hope that's helpful and makes sense. I feel like it was such a scary thing at first. And now that I do it, like having a guaranteed, since I have done it, my sales have been at least $2,500 a month, which I have never done. I'm lucky if I do 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2 or 3 in the holidays, but it's a guaranteed 2,500 because of those bags and because of people reordering. So I don't know, Jess, do you have any questions?
I do have a couple. So when do you have a post office like program, or do you do like, okay, I go to the post office on this day of the month or whatever? So how do you work that?
Basically, my order comes in, I get it ready, and I just go on a day that JC's home. You know, I just get them. The biggest thing with shipping is making sure that what you're putting in that person's box can fit in a box, because the mini washer whiffs are like this much too big. And so I had to like scramble and figure out this person's bag. So when I am shipping it, it might be different for that person compared to what all my deliveries are getting. So especially now in the summer, like I'm not doing any wax in my boxes unless I save a couple of those ice packs. I don't know, let's see how it goes, but hopefully it works. But yeah, I just have, the nice thing about the shipping bags is they're free from USPS and all, or from the post office. So I'll post that what it is. The shipping boxes are a little expensive. So like I said, I would maybe not offer shipping at first until you kind of have some feeling of, okay, like I'll invest in this, and because I think it's like a pack of 50, like it's all or nothing. It's not like you can just do a few. But I actually got some from another teammate who was doing them already. So that's how I started, but then I finally made the purchase. And then, yeah, I just got a little bit of fun, like packaging tape that literally just says Happy Mail. And I like make sure it's sealed and slap it on there and go to the post office. I know you can do it online. I'm like the worst millennial ever. I'm old school. I want to go to the post office. Like I need to get out of the house. I need a delivery interaction. So I just go when I can. I just try to get them out within, a couple of days.
That's a good way to market too. I'm sure people at the post office are paying attention, and eventually,
Yeah.
What is all this stuff?
Right.
Okay, before I open it up for other people's questions, I wanted to ask. So, I think you said this, but I just want you to clarify. So you do substitute like items sometimes, like you try to make everybody get the same thing, but like if you have to, you kind
of. It depends, because like with the circus one, that's very specific. I can't really deviate from my scents, you know. But for Christmas, like Merry and Bright, I know that this person loves cinnamon, but this person hates cinnamon, so I'm not going to get them those scents. So it really just depends on like the theme. Like my treat yourself bag, they get essentially the same products, just not necessarily the same scents, just depending on the theme.
That's kind of like the whiff boxes that they say that they try to, but sometimes they may replace a bar or whatever. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, gosh, you did everything I loved how you broke everything.
I know I talked super fast.
No, I love it. I need like 1, 2, 3. That's the way my brain works, and you put it all.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you have any questions for Lauren, you can unmute yourself. But first, because then we'll have a ton of people unmuting. If you wanted to just raise your hand on the board, I could see who's raising their hand, and I'll unmute you that way. If you wanted to make a comment or ask questions, I'm looking at the board now. Anybody?
Anyone? Bueller.
Did you while we're waiting to see if anybody's got anything, did you buy like your cute little gift bags from because you're doing them every month, you need a lot? Do you still get them from like the dollar store? Did you buy like a bulk at Amazon, or would you do
I do Amazon. My first mystery bag was in October, I think, actually. My next one was in November, and I did the theme was items I'm thankful for. And I actually got this idea from Michelle Brooks. I got a brown bag, and then I wrapped it with string, and then I had a cute little quote on it that says, "These are a few of my favorite things." Like brown paper packages tied up in string. These are a few of my favorite things. That was the first one, but brown is boring. I did bulk red for Christmas, and then I used that for Christmas and Valentine's Day. And then right now I just have white bags, like white craft paper bags. I just do various colors of tissue paper. For this month, I got like striped red and white tissue paper, but like I can use that again at Christmas or Valentine's Day. So I try to do stuff that can serve me more than 1 month, because I don't want, all this stuff that I'm spending money on. So there is a little bit of money out of pocket. Again, it's obviously all tax write-off. And because I buy in bulk, it's really not, a ton of money coming out of my pocket, especially when I'm cashing out from these Venmo, Zelle, PayPal people. That's essentially covering itself. And, same just to say with the extras that I do. So like my peanuts, I bought these little cellophane bags in bulk, but they're red and white. I can use that in July for 4th of July, and use blue ribbon with my normal orders, or in Christmas, or, in February. So I try to keep that in mind so that I'm not doing all this. It's cute, it's thoughtful, it's creative, but it's not like crazy out of pocket money.
Well, you know what I wanted to tell you is that, because I've heard people have been doing this for a long time, but every time I see like photos of everybody, it's like, it's so cute, but there's so much going on that it freaks me out. And so when I saw yours, I was like, those are so cute, but they're so simple. Like they made me go, oh, I could do that. Like, honestly, like I felt like this big weight come off my shoulders when I saw it, because I know you've been doing amazing things. Like I see you put in thousands of dollars every first day of the month, and I'm like, I need to know what this chick's doing. And then when I found out that's what you're doing, and then I'm like, oh gosh, like it's probably something that's going to be so extravagant that I'm not going to be able to do it or want to do it. And then I saw your pictures on your Facebook, and I was like, oh, those are so cute and simple, and so like duplicatable. Like it could
be. Well, and like that's what overwhelmed me, because there is a group, I've heard it's been archived for, I don't know, liability things, but it was scented subscriptions or something like that. You might be able to still find it and have access to it. But what overwhelms me was people were like, oh, I do a $20, I do a $25. I put this inside. I do this. And it was like, it was so much to me, like the theme and the shipping. And I think once I saw the results of my first one, I was like, okay, I can do this. So to answer your question, Cindy, they are $25 always, plus tax, Nevada tax. Even if I'm shipping it, it's just Nevada tax because it's coming to me. And then the flat rate shipping bags are $8.40 no matter what. So if I'm shipping it to them, it's plus that. So I mean, yeah, it seems overwhelming, but once I decided to just like do it my way, like I'm not gonna put like crinkly paper in your order. It's not gonna have some cute graphics all over it. Like you get a bag, you get tissue paper, and you get to save $15. Like that's all you're getting from me. That's all I have time for. And every person, I mean, because it's all they know.
Yeah.
You know, like they've never seen some super fancy bag from me, and then now it's tissue paper. So I think just they love the savings. They love that they're trying new stuff, or I'm giving them stuff they love. And I mean, yeah, it's been like guaranteed PRV for me, which has been like a big game changer for sure.
I love that you literally saw where you're at in your life, because your life has shifted from when, like Lauren said, she doesn't do parties now, but she built her business off of parties big time. Like she was a partier. And then when her life changed, she had to go, okay, how can I keep my business going and, be able to make my focus, which she joined so she can be a mom and spend every moment with her mom. So she built her business first. It worked out perfectly and was able to build her business, was a director before she had her baby. You guys can hear me now clearly, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to brag a little bit that, because a lot of people, they kind of, I see your hand, Melissa, I'll answer, I'll open your thing up in just a second, is that a lot of people, when they join, they're like, I can't do a lot because I'm so busy. And so Lauren is like the perfect example of, if you want something, you make the time, because Lauren had 3 jobs, not just the one with the child services. She was a caller. Was it 911?
5 jobs.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even know how I survived that time in my life.
She was like a bar instructor. She was a 911 dispatcher. She was building her Scentsy business. And P.S., she was also planning a wedding. And she promoted a director the same month she got married. And then she went to like a big training for her business, like a couple days after her wedding. Like she was no excuses, and still is, but now she is in a different phase in her life. And so her priorities are different. And so, but my what I want to point out is that, when there's a will, there's a way. And this business is built to be able to make you be able to say, this is where I want my focus to be in my life now. And I think all of us, if we, so now she took a look back at like, okay, I have this business, I have this team, I needed to be still working, to show them that, to be a leader. And she ended up finding something that like grow her business, because she shared just a minute ago that she wasn't a $2,500 a month person, except for like in the fall. And so she's not only living the life she wants of paying, her focus is her daughter, but also running a business and being successful at it. So to me, that is so inspiring. I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to like really, really paint that picture, is that, you really have control over this business of, what is important to you and how you want, and you have the ability to change the way you run your business if needed, which is so cool. One more question before I forget. I'm sorry, Melissa, I see your hand. For you, Lauren, my question is, what was it that made you say, okay, I'm going to try this? Like, what was it that gave you the courage to like?
Honestly, because somebody posted, I don't even know where I saw it. I don't know if one of my teammates shared it. I honestly don't know. But they posted a mystery bag with the breakdown. Like, I didn't have to think about anything. And I was just like, well, let me just see how this goes. And because I don't have to think about it. Like I didn't have to think about a theme. I didn't have to think about what was in it. The only regret I had was I didn't charge people the 5% shipping because it wasn't enough. It was like a $250 party, but it was like right after that change. And so that stressed me out because I had to be like, okay, I'm not spending all that money out of pocket because that's just stupid. So that's where I like dug into my stock. So I mean, I might have gotten rid of stock for free or a big discount, but it wasn't out of pocket. It's been burning a hole in my closet anyways. So that was my only regret with that was I didn't charge them shipping. So I would say starting off, tell them it's going to be $25. If you want to do it the way I do, $25 plus tax, possibly shipping, you know, and your goal is just to get as many people as you can. So, I mean, the one that I don't have the original image for it. So you could maybe essentially double it and get to 500 and not have to worry about, I have the breakdown to share with you guys in the comments, but I think just that taking out the guesswork for me and everybody loved them. And I think what I've liked most about it is like the creativity behind it. Like I'm not really a creative person. I've been doing Scentsy for 6 years. Like packaging up orders and delivering is boring to me sometimes. Like when that box shows up on my porch, I'm like, oh, okay, let's get to labeling, you know. But I think these bags have kind of energized me in a way because I like it's fun and I get to come up with these cute ideas, and my customers are like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. I love that, or I love this new product and I never thought I would have liked that scent. And so I think it's kind of refreshed me in a way of where I was getting a little burnt out, you know, with just like the normal orders, deliveries. So it's been fun in that aspect too, of being like, this is my theme, this is what I'm gonna put in it, and when they get it, they're gonna understand because Dumbo, you know. So that's been fun too.
Aw, thank you. Okay, let me lower her hand and unmute Melissa. There you go, Melissa. Oh, nope, just kidding. I pushed the wrong button. Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I came on late, so I might have questions that you may have already answered if that's the
Okay.
case. And I plan on going back to watch anyway. So if I ask you a question that you've already answered, just tell me like it's because I'm sorry. Like I've been looking forward to this since I saw that you were doing mystery bags because I really want to do this, but I feel like Jessie said, like the ones that I see are just like super cute and overwhelming. And then it's like, there's too many hows, like, how do I do this? And how do I do that? And when do I do this? And when do I do that? And so
Right.
these are all my questions to you. So I caught that you do your mystery bags for $25 plus an embedded tip or tax plus a flat rate shipping bag. So this might be like a super basic, like duh question, but I only recently started mailing things using pirateship.com. What is the difference? Like what is a flat rate shipping bag?
Here, I'll show you. So this was probably before you got on. I'm like the worst millennial. I don't want to try pirate ship. I don't. I want to go to the post office. So from USPS, you can get these bags for free. So I literally like ordered like 30, you know, or I don't know, it's 50. It's free. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything. Like they're just free. And they're flat rate padded envelopes. They're $8.40 to ship.
Oh, so it doesn't matter how heavy it is. It's just $8.40.
Yep. But when they ask you if there's anything fragile, say no, even if there is.
Like, yeah, fragile or liquid or anything.
To ship fragrance flowers. I can't quite, the box that I use, I'll show you guys. I can't quite get the box closed always, but it's padded. I do some tissue paper. So far, nothing's been broken. So I've gotten really lucky. The only thing that I have had to do is when I've done night lights, I've had to take them out of the box and wrap them and put the instructions in so that they're not shipping with that box, the actual box that it comes in. And then I tell them, if you want me to send it to you next time, I can maybe shove it in there. And they're like, it goes in the trash anyways. So far, everything that I've sent has survived. But yeah, these are $8.40, no matter the weight, no matter the size. The box that I have, and I'm not gonna lie, the first couple times I put these together, some words came out of my mouth. But you get them off of Amazon. They are a little expensive at first, but you just
So you get like 3 years worth. So
the what?
you get like 3 years worth. So you're good.
Yeah. So I bought 50. I have for sure one person that I ship to every single month, no matter what. I have one person who took a break over the summer. I have one person who's hit or miss. I have one person who sends it to her cousin every now and then. So, I mean, I want to say it was like $50 or something for 50 of them, but that's going to last you probably more than a year. But it basically builds into this, right?
Okay.
You close it up like that, and whatever you can fit in there and shove into that bag ships for $8.40. So
What size is that?
yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And I'm going to share the links to like all this stuff in the comments too.
Okay. And then do you mind if I ask you more questions?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So the thing that I'm having so obviously you're getting payment before you actually, so what is your time frame? Do you start advertising for your next month, like on the 15th of the month before, and then like, so you give 15 days to collect? Do you advertise online?
So basically the day that I do deliveries and mail these out, or the day after. So what I try to do, and I don't always remember, but I feel like this has really gotten interest, is I take a picture of all the orders, cute bags on my counter. And I say something, I post to Instagram, I post to Facebook, I post to my VIP. And I basically say something along the lines of like, I just made it rain Scentsy today. If you missed June's bag, you should be sad because it was really good, but you can still get July's. So I just tell them like, sometimes I talk about the price, sometimes I don't, because I'm wary of that, but most times I'm like $25 gets you a bag full of goodies. It's worth it, with like a wink, and message me with questions. And so basically the date, whatever day it is that I get it out, because I try to get it out ASAP, is the day that I announce my next one. Usually I'll do a picture of me delivering, and then in my VIP is where I make my images on WordSwag, which is like $3 for the app, like period. And so I make my own images. It's nothing special, like at all. I might still have my Junes on my phone, but that's where I post that special, like announcing the theme. That might be a day or two after my deliveries. And it'll start in my VIP page. And then towards the end of the month, maybe around like the 20th, I'll post in my Instagram and my normal page.
So how long ahead of time do you know what theme you're going to use?
I try to know at least a couple months, because I've gotten to the point where I'm so caught up on the savings aspect that like my June 1st order, I was ordering for July basically, besides a couple of the little extras I needed. So I would say at least know your current months and your next months, so that if you have some money to work with, you can start grabbing those things. And that's where you're making up that savings on top of the bundle. I really, honestly, at this point, try not to do a whole lot of bundle and saves unless it's with my Hostess rewards, because I want max amount of PRV. So could I put in a 6-pack of whatever? Yeah, but I'd rather do it under each person one at a time and get that little bit of extra PRV. So it's really just playing around with it, and like for sure, like having a plan. And I feel like starting off, if you have stock you could work with, do that, because that's where you're going to make up that savings and use that savings to start preparing for your next month. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like put back into it.
Yeah.
So how do you, other than just posting on Instagram and Facebook and all the things that you just said, do you individually text people and tell them? Or because
No.
I've tried to do theme with my VIP, and like crickets.
Yeah.
Nobody was interested. And so I'm like, I don't know how to get people interested in this. A lot of people don't like the fact that it's a mystery, but I love surprises. So like,
yeah. I had a little bit of resistance in the beginning, but when I first announced my first mystery bag, I basically said, like, I know you and I know what you like, and I promise that you're going to get what you like. Like, I'm not if you don't like spicy, I'm not giving you spicy, you know? So they got these savings, but I put things in that I knew they would like. And so I think once I got through my first bag, and it's just kind of, it took momentum and it took time. And, you know, some months were really great. And, you know, like November, Christmas was great. January kind of tapered off. February kind of tapered off. March, I think I did a farmer's market theme, which apparently is like amazing because that was like my highest month ever. I don't know what it was about that bag, but that was a super high month. And I think, I mean, it ebbs and flows, but I mean, my VIP, my Instagram, I'm not great about posting about Scentsy on my personal wall. It's just my crazy kid most of the time, but I do post about that. And I think over time, people commenting like, oh my gosh, I love mine, is getting other people interested because it's on my personal page. I don't think people follow my VIP page as much as I think they do, you know? So I think sharing that on my personal wall has really helped. And then for the first couple months, I did have a flyer, which I will share with you guys, that I did put in my orders, just my normal people orders. And I also have a referral card. So I'll share all that with you guys.
Okay, so halfway into the month before is when you would start like getting the ball rolling for the next, and then you place your order on like the beginning, like your first order of the month.
The very first day of the month is when I put my order in.
Okay.
I contemplated moving it just because where it comes into being tricky is around the holidays, because if I'm doing my order on December 1st, they're not getting their Christmas stuff until December 15th. So, but what I've decided to do is I'm going to move everything up a month starting in the fall. So my Thanksgiving bag will come out in October, and my Halloween bag will come out in September, you know, so that they have a full month or season to enjoy it. So that's just one thing I would consider with your themes.
Okay. All right. I think I'm just going to have to stalk you on Instagram and see what you've posted and go from there.
Yeah, totally. You can stalk me. You can be in my VIP page. I don't care.
Oh, thank you.
As long as you don't verbatim me. That's a pet
Thank you
peeve.
for answering those questions if you've already answered them.
Oh, no problem.
Anybody else have any more questions? I have one and now I can't remember. Hopefully I'll remember it. Comments, questions. Has anybody on here done a mystery bag before? No? Yeah, I'm like, it's like making me excited, Lauren, but I'm also getting scared at the same time.
It's super intimidating. It is. Like, I literally, you guys, I ordered postcards to make my own whiff boxes, like when I was pregnant, and I didn't touch them until my child was like 1.5. Like, it freaked me out to the point, but you know, it was fun because I did involve my customers a lot. So I did the mystery bag first. I asked them if they would be interested. I did a poll on my VIP page to name it. One of my customers actually named it. I'm not clever. I don't remember what I was going to call it. But so one of my customers actually named it, you know, so there was about a couple months where my postcards had a label over what said whiff box because I renamed it and didn't use those postcards for forever. So it was a lot of involving my VIP. One of my best friends does the bag every month. And so she's kind of like my, what's that word? Like my soundboard, you know? So I'll be like, I come up with the themes myself because I know what I'm putting in them, but I'll send her my graphics and be like, which one's visually appealing to you? And her husband will look at them and be like, we like this one because you can see it clearly, or it's cute, or whatever, you know? So that's been fun too, like involving my customers.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm like, but I'm really mad at myself that I've been doing good and writing my questions down, and I totally forgot because I was so interested in what you were saying. Darn it. I guess I'll have to message you. But yeah, if you don't mind posting those things on our Angels page so everybody can see.
Yeah, like, once you post the video, I will put in the comments what all I use.
Okay, it's actually being streamed live right now, so people are on there saying this is great information, just so you know. So I think they want to know that. They're excited too to get that. Ooh, that makes me so mad. That I can't remember what I was going to ask you, but I will ask in the comments so you can see it.
Sure.
But I appreciate how detailed you broke things down. I think literally you made it more like attainable. And that's what we need our businesses to be, is to be able to go, oh, I could do that. Because when we freak people out, it makes them think, oh, I can't do that. Like, and I think it's the most amazing idea. It's special, it's unique, and it makes you connect with your clients better. But when it's too much, I think, it especially when the average consultant does have another full-time job and, and kids, and they're like, how am I going to put that in there? So you really, you made it very simple for us to be able to duplicate that. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm actually not the first person on my team to start this. I actually had Lisa Hadley and Carly MacArthur do it before me. And I kind of was like, so how's it going? Can I buy some of those boxes? Because maybe I'll try it. So, but I have seen with those two, I'm not sure if anybody else does it on our team, but that they have consistent sales too, and that people are getting out of the wax and warmers thing. My biggest, I have a lot of biggest tips, but I have like how you see these boxes that people are doing, and they're super extravagant. Like in my mind, nothing is coming out of my pocket. Is what they're doing super freaking cute? Yeah, but they're probably losing. I mean, maybe not losing, but I'm trying to, if anything, just make PRV and profit if I can. So, your extras should be, if you're going to even do extras, I always do samples, by the way, at least warmer or scent of the month, but or washer riffs or something like that. But I don't, like, the extra that I do for them is no more than maybe like the glasses that I got for my Christmas bags. It was $1.50 a person, but it was Christmas. And it was a freaking phenomenal month, so I can spend $1.50 to spoil my customer. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think that was one thing that was overwhelming to me, because I didn't understand how they were making a profit if they were doing all this, extra garbage. I mean, not to be, rude, but like for my treat yourself bag, I did those masks that you refrigerate, the one-time use masks. And it was like a pack of like 25, and I've got 10 sitting in my fridge for me. So to me, that is an investment. Like, that's fine with me, but it ended up being like 50 cents a person. So, I mean, I think like being consistent, and like I can do a paper bag and tissue every month. Like, that's what you can expect from me. So, I think just starting off with it being super simple was, it took away all the other stuff that I was worrying about,
That makes sense. So do you have how fast do you follow up once you drop them off? Like, to find out if they like the products? And you said that they are now buying like the stuff that you have put in there, like laundry and stuff. Like, what's your follow-up system on your bags? Do you have?
I don't really have one.
Okay.
But I use Amy, and that is again why when I place that order, I have each person on there with at least one item. And I know, I like the most I've had was like 20. So I know when it pops up and it's only showing a room spray, I know that person got that bag. So on their order forms, I didn't do this at first. And then somebody asked me like, what was that scent circle again? And I'm like, I don't know. So on the copy that I keep, I write what I put in their bags. It's time consuming, yeah. But when they come back to me, because fragrance flowers don't tell you what's in them. So if they ask me what fragrance flower it was, or whatever, I can refer back to that order form. But I just do Amy, and when my kid is napping, I do follow up. I've found that most people literally text me within like half an hour of me dropping it off. Oh my God, I love my bag. So I feel like there's no urgency there with follow-up necessarily. So I give them time to kind of use it. And then like, I don't know, I probably have 100 follow-ups on my Amy right now. But I know that when I follow up with them, like we've already kind of talked about it a little bit because they've probably already opted into my next bag. Like I loved May's, can't wait for June's. And so, you know, if there's a little bit of a delay, I just try to follow up with them before they get their next bag. Like, let's just talk about that.
You just answered the question that I forgot about, was how you keep track of what's in the bags, because you said you don't put them necessarily exactly in the workstation. So that answered my question, because I know there's a lot of new consultants that be like, okay, you know, like they don't know really how to finagle yet. And so since you clarified that they can go back and see what you put in each bag by writing on the order form. That's
right.
perfect.
Yeah. Because like I said, there was a couple months where I didn't, because I was like, that's time consuming and they have it in their hands. Like, just tell me what you want. But then when that happened, I was like, I should just really start writing this down, because like, I know it takes time, but for tracking purposes, you know, just to know what I gave them.
Awesome. Melissa's got a question. Let me try to unmute her. There we go.
All right, I have more questions. I hope you don't mind. But I'm excited. I really want to do this.
Do it.
Pick your brain, because I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. How many people do you goal? Like, do you have a goal for, I mean, other than it just being like a $200 party order, do you have a specific goal of how many people? Like, would you just do a mystery bag for one person? Or I guess if I'm starting out and I'm using my own stock, that wouldn't matter. But for somebody that doesn't have stock,
as long as it's not coming out of your pocket. So say you only have 3 people opt into your first one. I would, first of all, not promise them a date. Like, don't ever say like you're going to have it by the 15th, because especially now with shipping. So advertise them, see how many people you get, figure out like, okay, your price point's 25. I mean, obviously you at least want a qualifying party, because you're using hostess rewards. If you're, you know, you at least want that, because otherwise you're just putting an individual order and you can't attach to a party and blah, blah, blah. So you at least want a $200 party. Obviously there's going to be that 5% shipping. So just considering letting them know, plus tax and shipping, you know, and when you have the conversation with them, like shipping might be free, or it might be 5%. And then just trying to, like I said, I don't do any more than $15 savings on my bags, because I want them to have realistic expectations. I don't want anything coming out of my pocket as far as their savings. So I just heard my husband, oh man, so something happened with the child. But I think the most I've ever done savings wise was my Christmas bag. And I just, because it was Christmas and it was really like one of my bigger months, you know, I always try to attach outside orders to the first of the month so that I'm maximizing those hostess rewards and, you know, all of that. So my personal goal is to get to 500, because then I'm maximizing the hostess rewards. I'm not worrying about shipping. You know, mainly just because you get way more hostess rewards. So you're either figuring out your savings for your bag or you're grabbing stuff for your next month. And that's where you're getting your savings for that next month.
So when do you tell them to pay? If you're not really sure whether or not you're going to have a $200 order or a $500 order.
I mean, I kind of have an idea by the end of the month, because I'm promoting it around the 15th. And so, you know, my first post, I might not necessarily say a due date. I might just say like my June bag, you know, or my July bag. But for me, they have to pay by the 31st, because like Venmo and Zelle takes a day to get into your, Venmo and PayPal takes a day to get into your account.
Okay.
The only drawback to that is like, if the first is on a Monday and they pay, or on a Sunday and they pay on a Saturday, it's not going to be in your account till Monday. So just, if you're doing that, just make sure that, you know, you have them pay a day in advance. What?
Do we have an extra towel for her, kitty towel?
Use the blue one that's hanging up.
Okay.
Why?
I put it on the towel on the toilet. She pulled it into the water, so it's soaking wet.
Figure it out. You're
The
smart.
child's crazy.
You're a smart man.
The child's crazy.
And then one last question. How do you get beyond, because if you're doing $25 bags and you do them for, so how do you get beyond the monotony? Like, how do you, because when I think of $25, I'm like, okay, well, like every month I'm going to end up putting in like a scent circle and a bar. And, you know, like, how do you, is that an issue at all?
I try to do different products each month. I feel like everybody has plenty of wax and they're going to order wax whether it's in my bag or not, so I don't do a lot of wax. If I do, it's like one bar. Like my June bag has 2 bars. So I just try to do one thing that has a pretty high price point, like a fragrance flower or a wall fan or wall diffuser or the mini diffuser, which really is not expensive, but or a nightlight or whatever, and then kind of fill the rest with what fits my theme. So honestly, my people get a lot of scent circles, but they don't seem to be upset about it. You know, I've done a lot of room sprays. They don't seem to be upset about it. So I just try to like, I mean, I've done fragrance flowers several times. Everybody loves them, you know. I've done, this is actually the first or second time I'm doing a scent pack. But I just play around with what my theme is and what's available with what my theme is, you know. My treat yourself bag was it was a body line, but I gave them, when I posted it, I just basically said, this is going to contain skin line products. If you would like to opt for a non-skin line bag, let me know. And so with that one, I did the sugar scrubs, and I did a hand soap and a hand cream, and I think some like a relaxing scent bar and a scent circle. So I think it's more that they may be getting the same products every month, but it's like the theme and the extras and, you know, just like the funness and surprise of it all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're about done, but I do have one last question. Have you had anybody like contact you and say, I don't like this, I hate the scent, or I hate, like, how do you handle that?
I had one, it has not happened a lot. What I actually had a customer tell me that when she doesn't like stuff, she just like gives it to her kids or to her friends or whatever. You know, I have one customer that I found out has very sensitive skin, and she's been doing my bags for forever, and she's like, I just give, you know, the stuff to my daughter-in-law, like, it's fine.
Oh,
I still enjoy your bags, but now I know, and I don't do those things for her. So it has happened. There was one where one of my customers really didn't like Lush Gardenia, and she lives down the street from me, and I'm like, what do you want? I'll pick from my stock. So I didn't spend any money. She said citrus, here's oodles of orange, sorry it's discontinued, but here you go, and we swapped. So Michelle, sorry, I saw your question and like spaced. Honestly, the way I get my inspiration is I go and I look at the wax, because that basically comes in everything. And so I would say like vanilla bean buttercream and sugar cookie and like sweets, ice creams, candy, you know, stuff like that. So how I do mine is I first just come up with like kind of a theme, and then I just look at the scents and I write down the scents that would make sense. Like not even thinking about products, just these scents would fall into that category. And then again, I try to find something with a higher price point, like, you know, a fragrance flower, a nightlight, whatever, and then kind of go from there as far as trying to like what can I do in bundles and bundle and saves, and what's like a new product that they may have not tried. And so, but my big thing is just like looking at the scents, you know. You could do like churro. I mean, you could really do like what's in my circus bag besides Dumbo, like sugar cone, strawberry taffy, sugar cookie, sweet tea, punch, you know, stuff that you would find at a party.
This sounds really fun, by the way, Laura.
It is. I'm so glad I decided to do it.
I think we're all like, all these things going on in our brains, like, ooh, this is going to be super cool. I'm turning 40 in August, and I'm like, maybe I'll start it in August as like a birthday, like mystery bag thing. Oh yeah. And so, yeah, that's, oh yeah, because your birthday's in August too. So thank you, Lauren. You're so amazing. I'm so grateful for you taking the time to share all this with us. We are so excited. And I'm sure all of us will share with you and have lots of gratitude going your way once we're able to finally do it. You're just older than me. You don't look it. I look older than you. I've aged so much in the last 3 years. It's disgusting. Anyways, okay. Okay, so again, thank you, Lauren. We so much appreciate you sharing this awesomeness with us. And thank you all that were on live and recorded. And if you have any questions that you had that weren't answered during the live, just post in the comments below and we'll make sure that we get those questions answered for you. Okay. Yep. Don't forget about the all consultant call tomorrow. You can register on your workstation, and on Scentsy Facebook page, they have the Thursday and Tuesday trainings as well. And then of course our Super Saturday call is always an awesome call to tap into as well. Have a great week and we will see you next Monday. Bye guys.